Hi there, I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings, and this will be the reading for the Taurus male single for the winter of 2018 into 2019. Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute here just to kind of acknowledge what I've done for this winter season. I managed to change up a few things. I vamped the logo a little bit. I actually got Aaron at Active Dynamics here. He has managed to make my intro for me, so I'm very thankful for that. He did a great job. I couldn't have done it. So thanks, Aaron, for that. I appreciate it immensely. And also to Ikson for my theme music. It's beautiful, upbeat, happy tunes. I can't get enough. I am now going to his page because it's just that great. It's all good gravy stuff. So I couldn't have revamped my winter season without these dudes around me. So I'm lucky enough to have them in my corner. So thanks, guys. Ikson, great work. Aaron, thanks again. Great work. So take care, guys. Enjoy your season. And Ikson, if you ever want a reading, just hit me up, man. Just email me. I will kick in and we'll set something up. In the meantime, take care. Have fun, you guys, and enjoy the readings. I have 3 cards here to go over the general areas for the Taurus male. And then we get into 5 different decks here. I have the Lenormand to kind of split up the monotony between the regular and the romance and sex side of things. We're going to try to go in and uncover your blocks in whatever ways they may be sitting and hopefully illuminate them for you and give you a chance to be able to remove them, okay? So for the Taurus male single, the first card I get for the overall general energies for this period of time, the first card, sacrifice. So there is a sense this man is going through and sacrificing something at this point. He's either made that decision or had that decision put upon him, and that is affecting the whole reading. Okay, to the left I have the sleep card. Sleep is there's a sense here that he does not want to be awakened to something, okay? If we're talking about relationships here, it may be a situation within a relationship, not wanting to wake up to that. And then on the right side, we have perfection. I feel like that's charging forth in combat against some of this stuff here. But we'll go through all the cards, and then I'll come back and tie it up in the end here. So those are the general energies for the Taurus male. So as we get into the first row here of the tarot cards, we start off with the 10 of Wands. Now, very much makes sense with the sacrifice card being the overall tone. First card is the 10 of Wands, and that is signifying that we have some burdens here that are upon us. If that is in a relationship, which it seems to be, that is what is burdening. Okay, so the sacrifice here might have been someone in a relationship that we had just gotten out of. Okay, so the next card I have is the Lover's card. So it's signifying that we had a burden upon us. We were at the 10, the absolute max we can take before we bust apart. So I get a sense here with the sacrifice being the main head of this energy. That's what has happened. The Taurus male seems to have, even though he's on the single side now, the relationship that he just come out of, it seemed to have sacrificed something within the relationship, okay? The next card I get is the Wheel. So that is about fate and things that are destined and in your path that cannot be changed, okay? So I feel like through the relationship, there was a way of being, and now we are out of the relationship. There's a switch here of how we live our life, and that is that flip of fate, right? So the wheel just signifying that this was a fateful moment in your life, and kind of written is what I get a feeling for. Whatever has happened here with this relationship, whatever sacrifice was made, this was something that needed to happen, okay? So the next card I get, the last one in the line to kind of describe the general energies for the male here, is the Knight of Wands, and that's the fire energy. Now, I do feel that this is the Taurus male. He is an earth element. This is a fire element. So he is more fired up to go off in a new direction, okay? There's an ending here in a love situation. And that is fated to be so. Now we are headed off, firing into another direction. Little more action oriented than we would normally be, but nonetheless, that's what we're doing. Okay, so the next row here, as we move into the Dreamer's Tarot, the first card we get is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is about resourcefulness, gathering people together to accomplish a goal. So I feel like, I don't know quite where that sits here, but I get a sense here of using resources to attain a goal here, okay? Well, that sits under the Ten of Wands. So for whatever reason, maybe that was what needed, or the process that this man went through in the sacrifice of the relationship. He gathered resources, and at the end of the day, it still busted apart. Now, under the Lover's card, we have the Devil. So that may be significant of a Capricorn, or it may be, and I think along with, if it is a Capricorn, it's along with the energy of being tied to something. Now we have the Devil under the Lovers. So there is either an addiction to this person, an addiction to the love, like that saying, what do they say? I'm addicted to love, right? All of those feelings, that kind of a thing, being addicted to that, being chained to something and not being, or seeing a way out. Yet I get a sense here this man is single at this moment, but for whatever reason, it's not clear how that happened. Now, the wheel here, under the wheel is the Eight of Swords. So when we talk about faithful things that happen in your path, or unraveled in your and along your path, we have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is that Dramarama card. It's, oh, woe is me, like what? So there's a whole bunch of chaos that this created, this sacrifice within this relationship, created a whole bunch of chaos for this Taurus male. But he doesn't see clearly what, I get a sense here that this busted apart. There was a reason that this busted apart, but the male's not seeing it, okay? Now, under the Knight of Wands, we have the 9. So under the Knight, we have the 9. And the Nine of Wands is really about putting a lot of work and effort forward, but feeling like we have no more to give. Like we only have one more wand to put in there before we're giving up. So we're feeling like, is this worth it? We're second guessing everything. Now, this is under his movement forward. So I feel like, as burdensome as this relationship was to him, he is wondering if it's even worth it to go outward and look for something else. Okay, still not clear here on what happened, but we'll continue on. Now I'll get into the Lenormand cards, and they'll split up the energies in between the love zone here. So on the Three of Pentacles, and that's grouping together to accomplish a goal, we get the 19. 19 is the Tower card. It's not like the Tower card that comes from the tarot. This is talking about big business, security, safety, things that make you feel this way, and also about boundaries that are laid to keep us safe. Okay, so this is prominent here in some way. I'm feeling like there's boundaries that have been laid in it. Somehow these boundaries have become a burden. Okay, there's something to do here with boundaries. Okay, on top of the Devil and the Lovers, we get the 12, which is the Owls. it's about wise words and thoughts, communication in a wise manner. We're trying to produce results here. This is productive. So there's some wisdom here coming forth to him, but yet he is feeling chained to something no less. No matter how much wisdom we impart to this man, he is feeling chained to a certain scenario here attached to the lovers. Yet I feel right now he is unchained. Not, no, I can't say it that way. At this point, I feel that he is addicted to love, though I see no partner here, okay? Now, as we get into the fateful and the drama-rama stuff, the Eight of Swords, there's something here that he's not seeing. On top of that, we get the 16, which is the star, and that's about guidance and moving in a direction of healing and hope and, you know, all of these things that bring you forward. So the essence here is the Eight of Swords. You know, he's like, oh man, I can't deal. And if it was a bust apart, then we're just drama-rama-ing it up. It is totally dramatized. But amongst all of this, we have the 16, which is, you know, you're going to be guided from the inside here, and we'll figure things out as we move on. So as I move on to the Knight of Wands, the fiery energy of moving forward, which comes with the thing of, I don't know if I can. And then on top of that is the waiting man. We have 28, the waiting man. And that is the man who is waiting on, looking towards the hope, looking towards the wisdom, and looking towards the security. So it seems like this man is kind of waiting for the one to come in his door, right? He's waiting for that. Seems like there was a kind of a big serious thing that happened here, but nonetheless it's over, and now he's kind of defeated and wondering whether it's worth it to keep going. Okay, so as we move into the romance side here, I get on the Tower, and there's a 10 of Swords. So Tower's about security, also about boundaries and limitations. And if we get the 10 of Swords, and that is about a secret admirer. Okay, so I get a sense here of a want to connect with someone from afar. This is what I'm getting from this. Okay, so the next card, I'm just going to leave it at that. The Lovers. On top of the 12, the Owls, we get the Knight of Cups. So yeah, definitely an offer towards someone, but I feel like the person that it is being offered to is not illuminated to this. We have someone at a distance we may be interested in, but they may not know about this. And that may be preferred by the Taurus male, that they don't know. But there is love going outward, no less. Okay? But kind of an unawareness from the object. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So the Wheel, on top of that row, we have the Dramarama, and the 16 is the Star, and on top of that, the 15, we have the Devil again. So it seems like what's going on here is this man has got some behavior patterns that he has gotten used to over time, that he has brought through to relationships, okay? And I feel like the sense here is, I've brought this in every relationship, never had a problem until now, right? Until this one that seems to be a little harder deal to break than the rest of them. And that is the problem here. Now, as we go on to the Knight of Wands and the defeat and the waiting man, we get the 3 of Canes, the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is about it's an engagement card. I want to marry you, da da da. So this kind of wraps things up into a nice package where we realize that this man came across a woman that he truly wanted to marry. There's some devilish behavior going on here, and I feel like the Taurus male is not in recognition of this, and is in denial of this, or unwilling to give this up, and that is what is sacrificed the relationship for, because there's 2 devils here and they are ruling. So there may be some addictions to whatever it is that you're addicted, Okay, so the Taurus male may have some addictions that affected the relationship he was in, and this was something that he wanted for a long-term goal, and there's a refusal to see, because they're not looking in the right directions for the answers here, but soon enough they'll see. Now, that's the thing. It's like they're going denial, yes. On all levels, this is denial that we need to come forward here and change our pattern of behavior in relationships. We're not willing to do that. It's an outright defiance. Because I was going, are we saying here that we need to, and they're going, no, this is outright defiance. We need to go forward. So that's why the devil's here twice, stating, I am here in the beginning and I am here in the end, and I am acknowledged and I am well known to this man, and we know what the problem is, but we are unwilling to give it up, and therefore we had to sacrifice a relationship in order to keep that in our lives, right? Whatever it is, whatever you feel chained to or feel unwilling to give up, right? So there could be addictions here. We could have chemical addictions, sex addictions, gambling addiction, whatever it is. We're unwilling to give it up in the relationship, and that is what has created the single side of this whole thing. So that is that row. Now I'm going to continue on into the sex side of things, even though I feel like this man is not in that way, but nonetheless. First card we get under the 10 of Swords is the 10 of Swords. So even though in the Romance Tarot does not quite depict the meaning, right? Love from afar, or a distancing for sure, but an admiration over someone. The 10 of Swords again stating that this is the end we have cut. And in this sex card, it is very obvious that the end is here. It is over. It is done. So the 10 of Swords is really someone that has had the break, and it's over, and we are now heartbroken because of it. So over the Knight of Cups here, we have the Ace of Wands. So quite quickly, it seems like we have a new beginning here. So there may have been a problem here in adjustments, because we have an ending and a new beginning, and I feel like there's really no choppiness. I feel like we may have been too timing, even to that degree, okay? So we have an ending that we're upset about, but a new beginning that we jump right into, okay? Giving the benefit of the doubt here. The Ace of Wands is really a symbol of getting intimate in a new direction, but nonetheless, there's the flames in the background symbolizing that there is still embers burning for someone else. And that is really what is going on here. We have not put one to rest, and we've jumped into bed with another. So that's really what's going on. Okay. So under the Devil here, as we move forward in the sex area, we get the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is about offers forward. And the Knight is someone who is worthy of his word. He tries to stand up for what's right and do the right thing. So there's a little bit of dignity and stability this man's coming from, and he's making an offer outward, no less. Okay, so under the Three of Wands, we get the King of Wands, which is interesting, because we really are going from a whole bunch of knights here into a king with a more fiery energy, no less. But it seems like this man has gotten out of a relationship, not quite healed. He's jumped into another, made a firm offer that he's good for. So he will come through for this new direction. And then he is going forward in protection of this. So it seems like this new direction that you're going in, you are very firm. Maybe you have learned a lesson here. Okay, so there may have been something that you had to sacrifice in order to lose a relationship in the past, but have learned your lesson through this, and now are moving forward to offer to a new partner. I get the feeling, though, this is real quick, But nonetheless, that is what's going on. The Knight of Pentacles making an offer forward, and the King of Wands is really that loving, caring, compassionate place. This is the most loving, caring, compassionate place a man can come from, is the King of Wands, because the King of Wands really does, he's able to channel all that fiery passion into a soft, compassionate area that is very well received by the female. So whatever process he's been through in the past here, he's managed to, like a magician, turn that into something good. It's almost like silver lining, or either that or just run into something here that is just really good, and he's learned. I feel like either learned his lesson or has learned from the relationship and is totally taking that forward, and adjusting behavior is needed. Okay, so that's the gist of it right there. That went quick, but that's horizontally. Now I'm going to go vertically and see what we can unveil here, if there's any more blocks, because I feel like this man is not really blocked per se. I feel like he may have jumped into another relationship here quite quickly, but that may serve him, because he's not going to forget what he's learned, so he's taking that forward, and we're just going to cherish this, because the King of Wands here is really heart-centered place to come from. When you look at the picture, it is like he really truly cares for this woman, and he's going to protect her and guard her. He's got, you know, his cape is wrapped around her, as in, this is precious, and I'm going to guard this, and I'm going to make sure that everything is, you know, great and gravy. So I'm going to watch my step, but that, I don't feel that in here. I just feel a complete vulnerability and giving into that partner that he decides to go forward with and make an offer for. Okay, but nonetheless, there's still some baggage there that needs to be burnt up. But I feel like if, you know, he's going forth and being vulnerable and heart-centered, that will dissipate over time, you know. Okay, so that's horizontal. So vertically, I'll go back to the beginning. The Ten of Wands, the burden. What was that? There's something to do here with a grouping. When we have the Three of Pentacles, did we go out in a grouping of three and now we got caught? Was that the sacrifice that was made in the past relationship? Did we have to sacrifice one member? That may be the scenario, okay? We may have had a guy that was burdened because he had two partners, and the Three of Pentacles symbolizing there was three directions or two directions I could go here. I'm working hard to keep it going. And 19 is about boundaries. I'm feeling like he couldn't keep up the boundaries in a certain area. There's one area he just couldn't keep things flowing, okay? On top of that, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords really speaks highly in a romantic kind of way of someone that loves someone, but they don't want them to know. It's like a secret admirer. An admirer that doesn't want to be found out. So there's something here about a situation like that. Yet there's a sense here of being highly upset because of the breakup, but yet it's the partner doesn't know. I don't understand. So the next card on the sex side is the Ten of Swords, which is the ending. It's like it ended before it even began. That's what they're telling me. Okay, so a high attraction to someone, and it may be a situation where this was someone that we had a crush on or admired, but never really got to first base with. Okay, the next row here under the Lovers. Okay, that's about choices and decisions as well within that. And then on top of there's the Devil. So there's temptation here on some level. And that's right beside the Three of Pentacles, which is like, yeah, we have decisions to make and temptations. We have temptations in this direction, but I feel like it never really got off the ground. The Devil, on top of the Devil, we have 12, which is the Owl. And that's about communication and balanced communication and productive communication. Communication that gets people, moves people forward. Okay, so I feel like that was engaged on some level. Okay, not too sure. 12, no, I'm not too sure. I feel like the 12 was a symbol of communication that was engaged with on some level here. It's like I get a bad card, a good card, a bad card, a good card. You know, it's like, yeah, we're tempted and then we straighten up. We're tempted, but we're not quite making, finalizing plans here. So on the 12, we have the Knight of Cups, and that's offering outwards. And where are they offering? They're showing him offering to the 10 of Swords. Well, the 10 of Swords is making an offer, but you're not putting your signature on it. They don't know who's there. So almost like he is flirting with an idea of going outward, but maybe never got that far, or whatever reason. Okay, so on that page of cups, we have the Ace of Wands, and that is a new direction. That's a fiery passion that goes forward to something else. Okay, they keep telling me, I see the Lovers here is at the head of this line. And I'm going down to the Ace of Wands. I'm going, is that the same couple? Are we in the same? And they're going, they're in transition. I said, okay. So one's ending, but what I feel like they're going, oh, there's more than one here. But we have not solidified the one we truly want to go to. So it's like we got one in the hand and one in the bush. And the one in the hand we're busting, we're in transition of. And the one in the bush doesn't know quite that we want to be part of their life. So this is kind of what's going on. It's really hard to keep track of here. It's kind of a lot of secrecy. Okay, so the next row here, we start with the Wheel, and that's about fate, fortune, and things that are flipping. You know, like if things were going wrong, now they're going to go right. If things have gone right, then they might be changing in that direction as well. So the Wheel is about things that are written. And then the Eight of Swords is about drama and feeling confined. Okay, so to a certain degree, this man is feeling like he is confined to either a relationship or a direction he needs to go, and not seeing a way out, though there is a way out, but he refuses to go in that way. And then on the Eight of Swords is 16, the Star, and they're going, that is the guidance. That is your North Star. Follow it. That's the heart. That's how you go. That's how you get out of the situation that you're in. You follow your heart, okay? That's what they said. Okay, so 16 on top of that is 15, which is the Devil again, rearing its head. And I feel like this is that cycle or of addiction in that way of wherever he's holding it. So maybe there's a chemical addiction here. And because of that, we're not seeing straight making right connections and making things happen in that way. Or we could have a sacrificed relationship because of that, an addiction, whether it be sexual, chemical, whatever way that it comes across. It's just a real feeling of being chained to something. You feel like, yeah, I was going to say the right thing to do. They're like, no, they know it's not the right thing to do, but they're going off in this direction anyway. I don't know if it's the easier path. I think that's more on cue there. It's the easier path. So that's what they're taking, but they feel they're bound to it, and it's not where their heart lies. So that's the real conundrum, right? So on the 15 in the sex side, we get the Knight of Pentacles, and that's about making an offer forward in a different direction. Things are too hard in the area that we want to go where our heart lies, so we are going to go and take the easy road. And there are sacrifices that will be made and have to be made because of this. Okay, so in the last row here, the Knight of Wands, that's going off in that new direction. There's a sense here underneath that. The Nine of Wands is rearing its head saying, I don't know if it's worth it. So that's this easy road, right? And they're feeling that there's not a lot of satisfaction there. So they're really questioning what's going on. Now, the 28 is underneath the defeatist way of being, and we're waiting on something to change. Well, the change has already happened, I feel. Okay, and I feel a need to state that strongly. Change has already happened. If you're waiting for changes, it's not going to come from anywhere but you. You have to make that change. So on the 28th into the romance, we have the 3 of Wands. So this man is looking to get engaged. He's looking to seal the deal, but I feel like he's got a decision here where, for whatever reason, maybe it's distance, maybe it's because I have to start in an area. I'm admiring someone from afar or whatever it is, a crush or whatever. And either they know something about this person that makes them feel like it would be a challenge to be in that relationship, or they are realizing that they have to start from scratch in this relationship and they're like kind of lazy, don't want to do that. So they are defaulting back to what's closest to them and going, yeah, this will do. I don't have to work too hard here. And it's not that bad. I get treated okay. You know, it's not rosy and my heart's not in it, but it'll do. That's the sense I'm getting. And that's kind of the waiting man. He's kind of got this rose, but he's not too enthused in giving it forward. And that's never a place you want to be when you're in love and getting married or engaged. You don't want to be in that mode. You want to be where you're excited to give the rose. You don't want to be sitting there with it half hanging off your hands. You want to be able to give that rose right in front of her face and stand firm and tall and dignity and dignified. And this is the direction, and I feel like a line and I'm going. That's completely missed on this Taurus male single. He's not feeling it. Okay. But there's engagement in here, no less. So I don't know if this could be an arranged thing or this just is the direction that he's kind of defaulted back to because he does not want to put the effort in that he knows he'll need to do in this other direction that somehow collapsed. Okay. So on the 3, we have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is about all that passionate energy that this man holds and bringing it forward. And they're kind of showing me that he could go in either direction and do this, but that passionate direction won't last in one of those choices. It'll just dissipate, and then he will be sitting back at 28, looking at his life and going, what the hell did I do? So there's a decision here that needs to be made, but I feel like there have been some fateful decisions or fateful events that have come around this man to kind of make his mind up for him. Yet I feel he's not happy where he sits. And he's looking in a direction where I don't know, it's conflicted because I get a sense here of wanting to marry and get married, but being very hesitant and passive in that. So this is a Taurus is he's an earth energy. He's in this last row. He's in that fire energy. So he's way more ambitious, way more active, way more fast and furious than he normally is, but he's feeling defeated. And I think it's because he either got booted out of a relationship that he wanted to be in, or he made a decision to default back to someone that he doesn't truly love. He cares a lot for, but doesn't truly love. His heart's not in it. And that is defeating to him. Kind of burst his bubble. He's like, yeah, I'll make this because it's easier. So it's just a sense of romantic laziness. He does not want to stand up and be king. He's quite happy being a knight. And even a Knight of Pentacles, no less. So he does have a lot of tools here to work with, but he does not figure it's worth the sacrifice or the work to go in the direction of where your true heart and desire is, which is sad because this is something that could be regretted over time. Could be, will be. Okay. So not good. Seems like this man is, even though he's going fast and furious, I feel like he's going in a direction that his heart is not in. And I feel like he's going fast and furious because something happened here. He had to sacrifice one. And because of that, now he's running off in a different direction, but his heart is not in it. So there's a lot of development over the winter here that I see this man going through. There's a lot of things he has to overcome, a lot of things he's chained to. So whatever it is in that way that he has to overcome, those are things I feel like no matter what direction he goes, he has to do that first for himself. Not enough time alone to contemplate really where he is and what he wants. There was a sense of something being cut off here. It was fated, no less. But the direction he's going is just not a lot of oomph there. He's going in action-oriented ways, but I feel like it's fueled from the sacrifice that was made upon him in the past relationship. So I'm not going to dwell any further. It's pretty much, it's clear cut what happened here. There's still things he is not seeing and not wanting to see. So until that is attacked, I feel like he really won't feel any better about the situation or be able to look in it in that way. But on the sex side of things, I think that's where he is grabbing onto. The rest doesn't really matter, which is sad. It's not a great energy because it's really well, I want that toy, but yeah, I'll take that one. Okay, you take that one, you go home and you kind of kick it to the corner and you sit on your bed and it's that kind of a feeling. It's like not what I wanted. But the man is not going to come forth. He has a lot of demons he has to deal with, and I think until those are shot down or at least conquered, he's just not going to see clearly where he needs to be or what needs to happen there. So for the Taurus male, it's kind of a defeatist thing going on, but nonetheless, that is his winter. An overview of the energies, sacrifice. I feel like sacrifice was the relationship that he just came out of. And whoever or however it ended, I feel like the Taurus male was really not in agreement there. I don't feel it was his. I know it was not his decision to leave it, but I also feel that it wasn't his decision to stay. So that's the situation. It ended because there was no decision made, so the decision was made for him. And I feel, and they're going highly, the universe came in here, shut things down, made the decision for him in a sense, right through the other person. So that's kind of the scenario. The sacrifice came. Now he is going off, charging in another direction. Sleep is about not wanting to see all of these things that need to be changed in order to get into the past relationship. He is just hoping and praying. And I feel this man working very short term. He's wanting to get engaged because he's only thinking short term. He's not thinking rationally about the future with this new partner and thinking that far ahead to understand that we might be doing the wrong thing. I think he knows deep down, but he's not overviewing, and he's in denial of a lot here. Not only the demons that he has to overcome, but the process of going in a direction of loving someone when you truly don't. It will not get better. It will only get worse. It'll only get more apparent that you do not love this person as time goes on. But he is hoping for the best, and that you can't blame him for that. But nonetheless, the sleep here is really, I don't want to see, and I don't want to. So there's a certain sense here that he knows what he needs to do. It's just, again, laziness. I don't want to work for a relationship. I just want to be in one. And if I don't love her, well, I guess that's the way it's going to have to go, because I'm not working that hard to upkeep. Even though he feels a lot in that direction, he's going, it's not worth it. So on the other side here, we have perfection, and that I feel comes in. Where does that come in? I feel like that's what he's going to try and do forward. I think he's going to try and put his best foot forward. What he has learned from the past so far, I don't know that he's had enough time to let everything sink in the path forward, but nonetheless, that's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and perfect this new relationship that he's jumped into, and hopefully that works out. And that's really where the energies sit for the Taurus male single over the winter of 2018 into 2019. So for the Christmas season, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, stay safe and all of that. And take care, have fun, and be kind.